Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Laura Schlosser, who is the Marion County School Superintendent for our Ask the Superintendent segment here on Central Kentucky Television. As we're recording this, it is actually the middle of the school year.
Yes, 87 days.
87 days, so 87 left?
87 left, and we've completed 87.
Fantastic. So how'd the first half of the year go?
It was great. I was really excited. We had a lot of really important initiatives that our teachers carried through. We have a common lesson plan throughout the district. Everyone has a common lesson plan. We have implemented Compass Learning, where students have individual pathways to work based on needs. And then we also had an opportunity for teachers to participate in a training. It's called Kagan, where it's cooperative learning. It gets kids up and moving. So we're really excited about some of those things. And we're also working toward the new evaluation system for teachers. You'll hear it called the Professional Growth and Effectiveness System, or PGES. So we're doing a lot of great things, a lot of change, I know, with staffing and things like that, but really excited about the first part of the year. I believe everyone understood that the sense of urgency. And another thing I'm excited about that happened at the beginning of the year is we actually had 21 learning walks. And so what happened is a group of administrators and principals, we actually learned from one another in the buildings. And so we did learning walks and also facility walks. And we looked at things like learning targets and lesson plans and Kagan strategies. And so it was a great opportunity for everybody to get out in the district. So
Fantastic, super. Well, actually, as we're recording this too, it is the first day back after the Christmas holidays, because there were 3 days that the holiday was extended due to our severe weather, with the cold. I think was the first day, and then after that too, we had some issues that occurred because of the cold in some of the buildings. Is that right?
That's true. We actually had 3 water line breaks and then several heating issues. We had probably over a dozen rooms where the heat wasn't acceptable. We worked yesterday around the clock to make sure those things were fixed, and what we found as we had frozen water lines, and as the temperatures rose, then we found out we had those, but we got all those cleaned up. Today, we also had some bus issues. We had some buses that wouldn't start, but today all the buses, we had no bus issues. We had a little heating problem, but we got that up and running. So, we're just really excited to be back. I just didn't want to put anybody in a situation where they wouldn't be safe, and I wanted the kids to be, and the teachers to be, in a nice, safe, warm learning environment.
Right. Now, where were the breaks actually in which facilities?
We had 2 in Calvary and 1 at Lebanon Elementary.
Okay. And there was some flooding that occurred for some of them too.
But we had some cleanup, and basically what happened is we called in some other custodians from other schools, and we all pitched in together and helped. Another thing that we did yesterday, just to make sure everyone's room was warm, is we actually physically had each custodian go into each and every single room to make sure they were warm. We left the heat going on overnight just to make sure they were warm, because normally we, to conserve energy, we want to put it in we have a shutdown mode and we have a occupancy mode. And, we don't shut it all the way down, but, it'll go down to a lower temperature. But we just wanted to make sure everything was up and running.
So are the heating issues, are they something that need to be rectified, or is it just because the facilities are
Well, I think you had temperatures that were just so cold, they couldn't keep up, and in some cases it was just maybe something had tripped and we needed to reset. In some cases we needed to make sure the thermostat matched what we actually had in our computer systems. But then in some cases we actually had Train come in to make repairs, and at Lebanon Elementary in the kitchen the entire unit is out, so that's going to be a new unit that we're going to need to get up and running.
Right. So with these additional days that we were delayed, how's that going to affect the calendar?
Well, actually what we do in Kentucky is we have so many days. Actually, students have minutes, teachers and staff have days, but what we'll do is we'll add those into the year, on to the end of the year. Right now, with the 3 snow days, and then we had 1 day after fall break that we added in for the Compass Learning training for everyone. They probably remember that. Our last day for students would be May the 22nd. But I think what I'm going to go ahead and recommend to the board is that let's go ahead and look at using the makeup day in February as a possibility, because in Kentucky you never know what the weather is. You know, I've seen snow in April. You know, if you have a main water line break, then you can't have school, because sometimes it's just there's things that's beyond your control, and you know that would put us at May the 21st. I know a lot of people like to get out before Memorial Day, and then we always have spring break. You know, if the weather's bad and we miss a lot of days, spring break is noted on the calendar as a possibility of makeup. I know that's sacred. I know folks want their spring break, but you know, we'll just evaluate that throughout the year. But we'll get those days in, because every day of instruction is very important to each child.
Yes, very
We
important.
want them to be ready for the next school year.
So as of right now, you have some days that are built in there, so hopefully we'll still be able to get out
Yes.
before Memorial Day. Hopefully the weather will hold for us. You know, they're talking about some other cold weather coming back in, but hopefully it won't be like it was, 'cause that was crazy.
It was frigid.
Yes, that was crazy. Now, also, a lot of times around this time of the year, sometimes there's issues with the flu and with sickness. Have you seen any issues there so far?
I'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah,
so
good.
far, so good. Been hearing that, but we've not had that, and you know, hopefully, our schools are really good about practicing having their kids wash their hands. We have lots of things in place, even at the high school. As kids walk through the lunch line, there's a means for them to sanitize their hands as they're walking in the cafeteria, as they're walking in to get their food. So we try to put we want to be proactive
Right.
with those kinds of things. So hopefully we won't see that this year.